Directed by Robert Eggers, the cinematic visionary that brought us such films like The Witch, starring the greatest of all time, Black Phillip, The Lighthouse, basically a movie about two dudes arguing in grayscale for 2 hours, The Northman, which was about Nordic CrossFit, because there's just so many abs in that movie. Nosferatu does not disappoint if you like Eggers' style. He definitely has an artistic quality about his movies that separates his from others. Today's video is a spoil-free video because it is just too fresh. I just saw it today on its release. That's right. Merry holidays, happy Christmas, whatever you celebrate or do not. I went and saw a horror movie because I'm an adult and can do that. Yeah, did you know that you can just do that if you want? Also realized the other day while playing my video game, I game every now and then, but also wanted to watch some reviews at the same time that, you can have two TVs in your living room. Yeah, you can just do that. I don't have any money right now, so goals, but follow my Patreon and maybe we can get that ball rolling a little quicker than it might normally take. Anyways, welcome to today's video. We're gonna talk about Nosferatu. It is our third vampire video in a row. 3 strikes and you're out for the count. Dracula, Orlok. Thank you. I'm here all the time because I don't have a job. Psych, just got a job, start Monday. Yeah, so I hope it doesn't affect these videos too much because they take a long time, but they bring in no money at the moment. So like, subscribe, share, because I would like to do this for the rest of my life instead of serving other people. I want to serve you, and that is about it. All right, enough of me whining and, complaining my first world problems. Here we go. Nosferatu 24, which is what I will call it. If you weren't aware, Nosferatu 2024 is a remake of the 1922 German film, which was an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yeah, they did not have the rights to film this movie, but they did it anyways. He was like, what if, go with me here, we just change the names up a bit, huh? Maybe twist some of the story around, because for the most part, it is the same. Which reminds me, my last video was over Dracula, and you all know how underwhelmed I was with Bela Lugosi's performance. I stick to that, by the way, again. While recognizing the historical significance and its importance to cinema history, I realized that it's not the movie I disliked, it was just Bela Lugosi's performance. Underwhelming, did not hit me, because I loved Dwight Frye's performance again, and the rest of the actors as well, and the plot was good. Story is sound. So I'm just hating on Bela. Maybe I'll watch some of his other movies, see if he impressed me at all. All right, back to Nosferatu. So yes, it was a unauthorized adaptation, and they did end up getting sued, which is very interesting in the story of this film, because they won, and the Stoker estate made them destroy every print of the film, and it almost was lost to history. But because of a copyright error in the United States, it was allowed to be shown here, and that's why it has survived till this day. And if you ever watch the movie, it is interestingly spliced together. Some scenes are more grainy than others. Other scenes are better preserved, and they did the best they could with really putting together a full movie with what they had left. It's a cool piece of cinema lore to realize that this film might have been lost forever, but we can still watch something that's 102 years old in 2024. I just think that's so cool. I think it's so interesting. But the fact that it was an unauthorized adaptation of Dracula, and this film is a remake of that unauthorized adaptation, you can really tell that the director, Robert Eggers, had a lot to work with. And I liked, again, no spoilers, I liked that he took elements from both the 22 Nosferatu, Dracula 31, and probably the book itself. I mentioned I never read it. I might have to read it now because I kind of feel bad for not reading it and doing these videos, even though this is a movie review channel. It's not a book review channel. I haven't made it that far yet, but I do read horror books. I like horror a lot. Listen to horror podcasts. I am horror. My handle should be horror, but I think that was taken. Whatever. But this story is a cocktail of sex, conquest, love, good versus evil, mental illness, superstition, enlightenment, and of course, a side of flesh devouring and soul searching, really. For those of you that have seen The Lighthouse, which I actually love, that is such a good movie, and probably review it eventually. But if you've seen The Lighthouse, you know Eggers' style. You know his artistic visions can be kind of a whirlwind. If Lighthouse felt like a fever dream, Nosferatu 24 is kind of its gothic cousin. It wears black lipstick, it stares ominously at you during dinner parties, and think like Tim Burton meets Francis Ford Coppola, but with more existential dread involved. And less cameos from Johnny Depp. However, Johnny Depp's Nepo daughter, no, I'm just playing, Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose Depp, stars in this feature. And this is actually the first movie I've seen her act in. And I was afraid that she wasn't going to be very good. Should have known better because, you know, if Eggers is involved. I was so pleased with her performance. She did phenomenally well. She came in hot. She proved that she's more than just a Nepo baby. Johnny should be proud. Yeah, she probably got the gig because of her name, but she definitely earned the gig because of her talent. Willem Dafoe's in it, and he's great in everything, and he is great in this. He plays a very Willem Dafoe-like character who is slightly crazy, but not really. He's just kind of out of the mainstream of society, and he turns out to be, you know, correct. I love Willem Dafoe. He is the Green Goblin, after all. And Willem Dafoe actually played the character Nosferatu back in the 90s film, I think it was a 90s film, The Shadow of the Vampire, which was a fictional telling about the filming of Nosferatu. It might have been early 2000s, I'll have to check. Correction. Nicholas Hoult is in this film, who I'm usually not a fan of, I'll be honest. He never really, I don't know, he doesn't do it for me. In the X-Men movies, I always thought he was a weak choice for Beast, but he does well in this. And the scenes where he meets Count Orlok, who is the vampire in this film, I could feel his fear. I could feel the terror. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who apparently is the actor that plays Craven in that new movie, which I have heard that it is not good. I heard it is kind of a flop. But if that's the case, then I hope it wasn't based on his performance, because he was one of my favorite performers in this movie. He is kind of playing the straight man, meaning he's the guy that's like, vampires aren't real. What are you talking about? All this is a plague. That kind of guy. So he does it in the way that's not like, dude, can you not tell that there's a vampire right behind you? He does it in a much more, honestly, yeah, that would probably be all of us if we were in his shoes. But he gives a great performance as well. Again, everyone in this movie, I mean, goosebumps. Goosebumps. There you go. You don't have to watch the rest of this video. You know I like it. God damn it. My flesh betrays me again. Look, what I'm saying is performances were good. And that leads us to the man of the hour, who I wouldn't even have realized played Count Orlok in this had I already known previously, right? Bill Skarsgård fades away into this character. Matter of fact, Bill Skarsgård's not in this movie. It's Count Orlok, and Count Orlok is terrifying. This vampire movie takes us back to the roots of really Nosferatu 22, where a vampire was something that was supposed to be feared and dreaded and ugly and vicious. And Bill Skarsgård, Count Orlok, is in every sense of the word evil in this movie. He does a stellar job. And again, I don't know how he does it, man, but his voice, the way he carries himself, of course, the prosthetics and everything else they used, so good. I was so impressed. So hats off to him. Really, if Bill or Lily are nominated for any kind of Oscar, they definitely deserve it. Definitely. Compared to other vampire flicks, I gotta say that this one, it shoots to the top faster than a bat out of hell. Like, it is one of the best I have ever seen. Nosferatu, which Nosferatu, if you didn't catch our last video, is a old Romanian word that's got a rough translation, but as far as they can tell, it probably meant or means the insufferable one, probably derived from old Romanian and gypsy folklore. So, I don't know, that's cool. When you forget your next line. The pacing and scares in this movie flow like fine wine or blood. Eggers even threw in a few good American jump scares. I'm about to lose my goddamn mind. I jumped at least 3 times, maybe 4 times while watching this in the theater. The jump scares are there, but they're not knockoffs. They're not crappy. They're not just for show. They're good jump scares that set you up for the rest of the movie. And just visually speaking, it's set in Germany in the 1830s, which, if you remember, Dracula was set in London in the 1890s. Stories about the same as far as setting up the initial plot. Orlok wants to move to Germany to, you know, find his love, right? And he goes to a real estate agent, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to talk about the cinematography in this movie because it is stunning. It is memorizing. It is beautiful. It is dreadful. And it is everything I am here for. I love movies like this. They draw you in because they're so, for the lack of a better word, pretty. And yet the sense of direness within them and melancholy, it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm attracted to the macabre in that way, but it's so good. And I think if nothing else, you'll enjoy watching it for the sheer visual beauty that it displays. Overall, this video is going to be short and sweet because, again, the movie just came out today and I would love to do a deep dive, but I don't want to ruin it for everyone, so we're going to save that for another video. I will revisit this movie. It is that good. It's up there. This year, for me, it's up there with The Substance, which oh God, that movie was good too. It's a great movie. I'm gonna have to put out a list of my top 10 soon, but the real value of this, you all know it. It's a must see. You gotta see it. It is stunning. It is awesome. Not for kids, definitely, but I loved it. I thought it was great. On the Scaredy Cow scale, I give it a solid 3 out of 5 for, again, the atmospheric dread and its story within a story about mental illness, disease and plague, again, enlightenment and superstition, good and evil, and even a little bit of greed, all wrapped up in this tale about a being of immense power, decaying and decrepit, who looms over us all, whether we believe he does or not, and whether we welcome him inside our homes, he is definitely always somewhere within our soul. Who's that him? Watch the movie and you'll know. I got real serious there at the end. All right, thank y'all for stopping by. This has been The Real Value. I'm Cal. Remember to be nice to each other, and if you can't do that, then just don't be a dick. See me next time, because I can't see you. Peace. And then probably the book itself, I mentioned, and probably the book itself, God damn it. You can't see down there? I can't be a knight after all.